What's up, YouTube? I haven't been on here in a hot minute. And the reason for that is because I recently went through breakup number 2 of my 20s. It was fun. And I'm currently kind of going through like quarter life crisis 2.0. So if y'all have been around from the very beginning when I started my channel, then you'll remember that part of what sparked me starting YouTube was that I went through a breakup and I basically changed my whole life. I moved from California back to Oregon. I went vegan and I started to really like focus on self-love and self-care. And I started a YouTube channel because I wanted to be able to share those thoughts with people, and also I kind of wanted to show that like things aren't always Instagram perfect when you're figuring out your life, and there are a lot of kind of in-between moments that I think a lot of times we just don't really get to see and connect with on social media because we're worried a lot of times about making sure that our pictures look good. We want to kind of present this certain look and feel of our life, and it's like that's not real life, and we all know that consciously, but I think sometimes it's nice to have somebody like call that out and say that. So that was kind of the inspiration behind why I started the channel. And then pretty shortly after I went through that breakup and the move and everything else, I wound up getting into another relationship, and I have a lot of love and respect for the person that I was dating. So I'm not going to go into any details of like what happened, but it didn't work out. Now I'm here. If any of you are wondering what this weird thing is behind me, I'm sitting on a giant beanbag chair because I moved, obviously, so I'm living in a new apartment, and I don't have any furniture yet, but my mom gave me these awesome giant beanbag chairs, so I'm sitting on one of those right now. And yeah. Also just wanted to address the fact I know like there have been a couple of people that have commented about the fact that I haven't been on YouTube and haven't been on social media, and like people who knew that I was going through the breakup and kind of talked about how like they wish that I was sharing more of that process, because that's always kind of been my thing, is like I just said, like talking about the fact that social media isn't a great representation of our lives a lot of times because you don't get to see the imperfect moments. And I totally get that, but for me, I felt like what I needed on a personal level was just to be really connected and present with the people in my life who were supporting me through the breakup process and through kind of all these life changes. And I just didn't have the energy to get on camera really, and I didn't really I didn't feel comfortable just because I felt a lot of like guilt and shame over the breakup, even though I understand consciously that it's not something that is my fault. I feel like I always kind of question myself, and I always kind of have some guilt when a relationship ends, whether it's a romantic relationship or a friendship or whatever it is. Like I always kind of wonder if there was more that I could have done to keep that relationship afloat, and it took me some time and space to kind of get my head around what had happened before I was ready to jump on camera and talk about things. So, but I deeply, deeply appreciate all of the people who reached out to me and commented on the fact that I hadn't been doing the daily vlogs and hadn't been on YouTube, and hadn't been doing the normal like Instagram chats and all that kind of stuff. Like, you guys are the best, and it was so nice to have you checking in on me and offering your support through the last couple months. So if you were one of those people, just thank you. You rock. But now I'm back and ready to take on 2018, and one of the perks of this new life change is that I do have the ability to film more just because I'm in my own space and I don't have to worry about impacting other people's space and time when I'm filming. So hopefully there will be many more videos to come in 2018. But I don't know, I'm excited for this year. I feel like even though especially the past like couple of weeks have been really sad and really stressful, they have also been just like really joyful. I got to spend a lot of time with my family. The holidays were really, really fun. It just was a really good time. So I don't know, I just feel inspired to kick off 2018 with some good vibes. I think for me, this year is the first year that I haven't felt like I wanted to make New Year's resolutions. And the reason for that is because I think the biggest thing that kind of stuck in my brain while going through this latest life transition is that I get really caught up in goals sometimes, and then I do feel a lot of guilt and shame when I'm not able to reach those goals, or when I'm not able to kind of build my life exactly how I expect myself to build my life. And I think that a lot of times I am so afraid of change that I tend to say no to things instinctually whenever opportunities come up, and then basically like talk myself into why it was a good idea to say no, in terms of just thinking through like everything that could go wrong, or like reasons why it was better to just keep things the way they are and things like that. So for 2018, even though I want to have like some like concrete goals that I'll break down throughout the year, I also just want to kind of focus on being more open, I think. More open to opportunities and more open to people, and then just more open with myself when it comes to just not having it all figured out yet. Like, I think I just keep kind of going through these cycles where it's like my whole life changes, and then I sit down and I'm like, okay, here's my new life plan, and I like plot everything out, and then when it doesn't work out that way, then I just kind of feel like overwhelmed and stuck for a long time. So I want to try to be better about just thinking about life as like, it's a ride. Like, some days are great and some days are bad, and that's just the way that it goes. And the truth of the matter is that even on the bad days, like, you never get that day back again. So you might as well enjoy it as much as you can, and just focus on the positive and just enjoy where life goes, because like, you really can't predict it. You have no idea what's going to happen from one day to the next. So that's kind of my like 2018 mantra. And I feel like I'm not eloquating it. I feel like I'm not describing it very eloquently, so I'm sure that it'll like come into a more like concise, better expressed idea over the next couple of weeks. But for now, that's just kind of my 2018 vibe. It's just like, let it be. Just letting things be and being open to what's going to happen, and letting myself be excited about things, and letting myself say yes to things even if they feel kind of scary. So yeah, that's a little quick update on what's going on with me. I will give you guys an apartment tour here in the coming weeks. It's kind of echoey in here because I don't have anything on the walls. I don't really have any furniture, like I said, yet. But furnished apartment tour coming soon, as soon as things are decorated in here. So yeah, I hope all of you guys had an amazing new year, and I hope that you're feeling ready to take on 2018, because I think we're going to crush it. Okay,